This is the story of what it's really like to experience war through the eyes of a child. Their first-hand account of what war is like for them in Ukraine.
Well, when I hear a plane or there is a loud sound, I always get under the bed.
How it felt to run for cover as the world around them changed overnight.
I bring all of my toys into the basement and I played with them. I was just feeling really sick.
And was it from all the stress of what was going on around you?
Yeah, I think I was like a bit too nervous.
How the children who came to the UK to be safe still have a lot to deal with, like having to find a new place to live. Daniel, are you sad about having to leave your host family?
Yes.
Because we have big place. We are very close to my school.
And how this refugee risks going back to a war zone just to hug her parents she left behind.
I'm so far away, and even if I really, really wanted to help them, it's just not possible. Like, you can't do anything.
FYI investigates Ukraine's children of war.
When the bombs was falling, was like literally a meter from our house. I was just feeling really sick. I had tummy ache.
And was it from all the stress of what was going on around you?
Yeah, I think I was like a bit too nervous. We were just lying down on the floor or on the beds.
So you had to lie down to protect yourself?
Yes.
February 24th, 2022 is the day the lives of millions of Ukrainian children like David changed forever. Russia's President Putin ordered an invasion of Ukraine. The town of Bucha, near the capital Kiev, was hit by missiles day after day. All David and his family could do was hide. They remained in the basement of their home for 3 weeks. They took photos and filmed as Russian troops moved into their town.
Our house was just fine. I don't know why. Every house was bombed. Shops, the cars, but our house was literally fine. I bring all of my toys into the basement and I played with them. After 1 week, they blowed up the electricity. Then we didn't have electricity. Then we just had like torches.
So it was completely dark in the basement?
Yeah. I did feel a bit too nervous to go outside because there were Russians on the street. And when we were in the basement, we heard a lot of Russian tanks passing. Literally, there was like thousands of them.
Russian troops eventually agreed to an evacuation of civilians from Bucha.
Ukraine was beating Russia more, so we could go out. We were a bit now protected. My mom's friends meet us with a car.
As they fled Bucha, they put a sign on the car saying "children," in the hope it would keep them safe from Russian troops.
And then we fly away with my mom to Poland, and then we fly to England.
David was clearly happy when he finally reached the UK. They are now safe, living in England, with family who have always lived here. With their experiences behind them, they were happy to share their story.
Насію. Браво. Дуже добре. Розумничок.
So, you enjoy school here?
Yes.
Yeah. Can you show me your classroom?
Down there.
Down there, okay.
I was nervous when I first time get to school, but everyone was nice to me.
More than 5 million Ukrainian refugees now live across Europe. 130,000 settles here in the UK. Half of them are children and teenagers. Most escaped from Ukraine at the start of the invasion by travelling to neighbouring countries, mainly to the safety of Medica in Poland. And this is where I witnessed what war can do to innocent people for the first time.
You got it. Look, watch. Hello. You wanna wave to them? Wave.
I was reporting for FYI as refugees poured over the border into Poland. The first thing I noticed was that it was mainly women and children.
Can you press this?
Families had been torn apart. All men were ordered to stay behind to take part in the war. And there were also children who arrived without either of their parents. It was here I met Elia. Her parents had stayed behind to take care of relatives.
Our 9th floor was destroyed, and that was the moment when I realized that I gotta go, and I just couldn't leave my parents alone, but I had no other choice.
So what was it like having to leave your parents behind?
I am terrified of the thought that someday I will call them and they will not respond.
Elia was close to finishing her studies and hoped to go to university in the UK.
Because of all of this happening, my dreams are just crushed. They are just destroyed.
One year on, and I've never stopped thinking about Elia.
It's a pretty big campus.
We're about to meet again. This time, in the UK.
How are you? I'm good. Your hair looks so nice.
She was taken in by one of thousands of British families who volunteered to host refugees in their home.
It's so much different in my...
And her dream of studying here is now a reality.
Is there a medical issue?
Elia's a student at a university.
Is there an issue?
This is your room here? Yeah, it's kind of in the middle. Near to the shower.
Oh, it's so pretty.
Yeah.
It's so pretty. Do you like painting?
Yeah, paint. That's my recent one.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, I haven't finished it yet.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's the motherland statue in Ukraine.
What does that say?
Glory to Ukraine.
Elia is from Kharkiv. This is what her city looks like now. Devastated by Russian missile attacks. Her parents fled to the capital, Kiev, where it was safer.
They're refugees within their own country.
When you see news reports, you must worry about them so much.
Yeah, of course, you know, there is like a very popular syndrome like amongst people who fled the war that they feel guilty for being safe. I'm so far away, and even if I really, really wanted to help them, it's just not possible. Like, I can't do anything.
I'm finding the problem for all refugees is that no one knows how long the war will last. I've read that an increasing number of British families are now pulling out of hosting refugees. Some are struggling to share their homes, others are finding it too expensive. This charity video shows Daniel, a refugee handing in a petition to the Prime Minister.
Hello, we brought our petition about housing for Ukraine.
Okay, I will let the Prime Minister have it on your behalf.
It is signed by 10,000 hosts looking after 5,000 refugees, asking for more financial support.
Very well done.
какое-то интересно.
Нет, не хотела
это?
тут жить.
Почему?
I tracked down Daniel and his mum Tanya in High Wycombe. Their host family has asked them to leave. With fewer families offering to be hosts, they've turned to estate agents to help them find a flat to rent.
Hello.
Давай заходи.
Tanya has managed to get a job working for a charity, but money is tight.
So, are you looking for a 2-bedroom? Are you looking for a 3-bedroom? Do you want to be in a town centre?
It would be really nice to be close to Daniel's school.
Okay. So the maximum that we can spend on a property would be for yourself is £1,000.
Yeah.
So that's the maximum that we could possibly go up to, based on your income.
We came.
And that won't be enough for a 3-bedroomed flat for Daniel, his mum and grandmother. Daniel, are you sad about having to leave your host family?
Yes. Because we have big place. We are very close to my school, and that is very good.
So, what are your options? Like, you've been welcomed by such an amazing family, but I can imagine for anyone it would be difficult having, you know, other people living in your house for such a long time.
Yeah. You know, we all were hoping that, all right, maybe a few more months, but 10 months, I think you will agree that it's a huge amount of time to get a stranger in your home.
What can you afford right now?
It would be really nice if we could be together,
Yeah.
have a 3-bedroom. It's really a challenge.
Ну, это значит, что...
Shortly after Daniel handed in the petition, the government announced it will increase the monthly payment it gives to host families. The hope is to convince more people to welcome Ukrainian refugees into their homes.
This is my mom, and that's me and my dad, and the 3 of us. I really miss them. Haven't seen them for a long time.
I'm beginning to get a sense that, understandably, most refugees just want to go home, but it just isn't a safe option. As the 1-year anniversary of the Russian invasion draws nearer, the capital Kiev is being bombed for the first time in months. Elia's parents are now among millions experiencing power cuts in extremely cold weather.
The second attack in just 2 days. Another wave of missiles from Moscow.
But life in England without her parents is proving too much for Elia. Despite the risks, she's decided to head to Ukraine to see them.
I don't think anything can change my decision to go back now. I'm very determined to see my parents because I really need that, and I feel that seeing my parents would be a very important moment for me to keep me going. Of course, it's worrying me. All of the people who are waiting for me there, they just keep saying that it's gonna be fine, and it calms me down a bit.
We're going to keep in touch with Elia throughout her stay, and a highly experienced team are filming her return to Ukraine.
It feels so weird that I escaped this place once, and I escaped the war once, and now I'm going back there deliberately.
After a 40-hour journey on coaches, Elia is just moments away from being with her parents. After a few days, I wanted to see how Elia was getting on in Ukraine.
Hi, can you hear me?
Hi, Elia. It's great to see you. I've not seen you in so long. So how are you feeling about everything?
It was very hard to see the infrastructure being damaged, and especially realizing that your parents and your family have been there during these terrible things happening, and you were away, you were safe. while these people, the people that you care about so much, they were seeing all of this with their own eyes. They were experiencing all of this explosion and loud sounds and all of this air raid sirens and stuff, which is really hard for every Ukrainian kid right now.
Elia and I want to know more about how the war has affected other kids, those who stayed behind. We've arranged a visit to a specialist centre that comforts children. At first, this just looks like a typical classroom. But everyone here has a shocking story to tell. Some of these children escaped from towns taken over by Russian soldiers. They've lost relatives, and they've been forced to flee from their homes. Some are so affected by a year of war that everyday sounds can remind them of what they witnessed.
Well, when I hear a plane or there is a loud sound, I always get under the bed. At least I'm not scared of a helicopter. I'm scared of a fighter jet because one flew right above my head. Those kind of sounds are not good to hear.
Others have fathers fighting on the front line.
I didn't know where he was. I was calling and texting him. But Mum said it's forbidden, so I tried not to. It's hard when he calls you and you ask, "How are you? How is everyone?"
All these children are getting specialist care to help them cope with their experiences. And today, they're getting a visit from a very special therapist. The pit bull terrier called Bucha. It's believed that dogs help reduce stress and anxiety.
When the dog is playing with you, you can give her commands, and I really like it. It's great to have some entertainment like that. You're getting better in some way.
According to the children's charity UNICEF, every one of Ukraine's 5.7 million children have suffered trauma because of the war. 2.2 million have been forced to flee their homes, and over half have no school to go to. Elia and her parents have decided to deal with their own experiences and travel to Kharkiv. They want to see what their home city looks like now.
There was a lot of discussion between me and my parents who wanted to take me back to my home city, Kharkiv. But I can only imagine how it's gonna make me feel when I'm gonna see the place where I grew up being destroyed. But at the same time, it might be very important to reevaluate some things in my head. My district is kind of on the edge of the city, and it's the closest to Russian border. So it was under shelling a lot, much more than any other district. And it touched lots of things that are precious to me as well.
Their apartment block has been badly damaged. But that's not all. Just a few meters away from her home, there is a place that means so much to Elia.
This was my English class.
Thankfully, the school was empty when it was bombed.
This is my destroyed school. There is no place that I can come back to and meet my teachers and my school friends. There was my English class there. It's just very painful to see all of this. Russians just came and took my school years away from me.
Elia's parents have decided to move back to their damaged apartment here in Kharkiv and take care of elderly relatives. Even though there is no electricity or running water and the city is still attacked, they no longer feel the capital Kiev, where they fled to, is any safer. Elia will return to the UK to focus on her future there. Like so many refugees I've met, she is determined to never give up on her dreams and hopes for peace.
To leave your family knowing that you're gonna go to a safe place and they just have nowhere to go, I think that's even worse than experiencing all of these attacks and missile strikes and shelling again, because I know that I can escape, but my loved ones cannot. Being back in Kharkiv and seeing all the destruction, it was heartbreaking. But the most important thing is that Putin cannot destroy our dreams and stop us from getting education. He will never break our spirit because our freedom and love to each other is now stronger than ever. We will never let Putin destroy our future.